Welcome to Random America time again, where we're at KDTA Delta Muni, which appears to be in the middle of nowhere with nothing much going on at all here. Yeah, quite deserted. Anyway, regular viewer Quantumac, not totally sure how to pronounce that. I found out that they had made a plane, which you can download at the Explain.org forum. So we've got to try that one out. Yeah, just search for Quantumac BD5J, and I'm sure you'll find it easy enough. Large black cloud up there. But yeah, let's give it a go, shall we? Test it out. Yeah, I was mentioning in the last video about differential braking and how that goes. Wait, what was that? Hold on. Okay, that's weird. Whenever I look down too far with track IR, it does that. I do have nice red nail polish though, so that's nice. But yeah. But here is where we're going to pause this video, because at the end of the flight this happened. Yeah, and planes generally do land a little bit better if you manage to put the wheels down, don't they? Now, probably wouldn't have bothered if it was just a random aircraft I'd found at the org forum, but as this one was made by one of my YouTube viewers, I thought, no, let's do it again and give it a proper test and try not to crash this time. Yeah, we're at a new airport as well. This one is Battle Mountain Airfield, which is very similar to the last one, in the middle of nowhere and not much here. It's not actually too far from the last one either, so sort of makes sense. Let's go. Right, we're flying. Yeah, I think the undercarriage thing, that's a combination of me and the joystick going a bit wrong, as I have done that before. I've got a button mapped to raise and lower the gear, and most of the time that works fine. But very occasionally you can get what registers as like a double press on it. Have a flyby. Woohoo! Yeah, it's like a double press, so I can press the button, feel the movement and the click on it, but what's actually happened is that the gear goes down and then comes back up again a millisecond later, as Explain thinks I've pressed it twice. Top right hand corner of this panel you have a very obvious indicator to tell you if the landing gear is down or not, but there is one small problem with that. The pilot does have to bother to look at it and realise that he's about to make a belly landing. Yeah, that is the thing with designing stuff to be idiot proof. The idiots keep finding ways to beat the designers, don't they? Let's up and over. We're not quite sort of fighter jet manoeuvrable. Was expecting it to be a little more sharp and responsive to rolls and spins just by the look of it, but then again it's not a fighter jet, is it? Certainly feels nice enough to fly though, so no complaints. Just looking at the map, we have another airfield ahead, Crescent Valley, so let's try and go there. I think it's a grass or probably dirt runway instead of an asphalt one, but never mind, I'm sure we'll be okay landing on that. What a nice day to have a flight with a bit of clouds around and all the Utah hills. It's yeah, quite pretty. As for the panel then, steam gauges, which is always a large plus for me. Little, well, I was going to say blurry, but that's no, more accurate to say that they're not quite as crisp as the sharp 8K texture kind of things that have seen in some other aircraft, but perfectly acceptable. You can read what everything says on the dials, which is kind of all you need. Yeah, happy enough so far. Seems like a nice plane. Yeah, there is a part of me that quite likes the idea of getting into aircraft design, just so I could do something weird, like have 3 wings on one side and 2 on the other, with an offset propeller and an open air seat on the tail, or stuff like that. That does rely on me learning a whole new set of things regarding plane maker, so probably not going to happen anytime soon. Although something new which did happen was I got a message from somebody at the org forum called Bidendum, I think. Yeah, and they had made a map of our New Zealand scenery. So I'll drop a link below. I'm sure somebody might find it useful. I don't know if they watch the videos as well as using the airport scenery that I've done, but yeah, if you do, thanks for the map. It's interesting to see just how many airfields there are now. But as for today, we're in America where I don't bother making any scenery, so we get whatever the default airport is. And for this one, the map seems to show that our destination is right by that little town over there, which would make sense. We appear to be in a fairly deserted valley with nothing else here, so putting an airfield close to the only signs of life would be generally a practical idea, I'm going to say. Get ourselves ready for landing, and yeah, 3 green lights, so we do have wheels this time, so that's definitely a bonus when you're trying to land a plane. It's a bit better than the last attempt I made, although I'm not totally sure where the runway is in relation to the town, left of it or right of it. There's nothing obvious I can see from this distance. Don't know, maybe is that something just to the left of the town? Yeah, we've got an L-shaped airfield runway layout, where we're going to land on the corner of the L, and the other runway will be at 90 degrees to us, stretching off to the right as we're looking at it. And is that maybe a... no, not over there. Could be a runway just at the far side of the town. There's something just to the right of it which is sort of long and straight, although guessing that might be a road. No, I think I may have been correct with the guess that the airfield is on the far side of the town. Yeah, dirt runway, so it blends into the background and the terrain and everything, so it's harder to spot. But yeah, fairly sure that's where we're going now. Yeah, certainly that's the one. Found it, so we know where we're going to land now, then that's always quite helpful. Yeah, seems like it might be just a runway too, with no buildings or hangars, but never mind. Yeah, definitely a runway, so we're all good. Yeah, this might be only a small little town, but at least the runway looks quite long, guessing we may not need massive distances to stop in this, but nice to have the extra runway just in case. Or we could just do another belly landing as you stop quite quickly when you do one of those. So I found out. You're missing a few of the houses close to the airfield, which is a shame, but never mind. So I'll probably never come back here again, so it doesn't matter too much. Okay, doing okay, so let's see what we can do. And these two, bollocks. That was a little positive. Yeah, so what we can do is stall the aircraft onto the ground with a large thud to test the undercarriage. Obviously, that wasn't an accident at all, and the plane does seem to be fine with my premeditated landing test. All the bits are still attached to it. Not sure if the same can be said about my spine after that landing, but no, it's fine. Yeah, so Quantum, nice little plane you made there, my friend. Handles well, enjoyable to fly, and your efforts are very much appreciated. Not sure I'll use it too much, as it's just not the kind of aircraft I normally fly, but yeah, it's staying in the hangar, and I'm sure there will be a few more flights at some point. Right, that will do. See you soon.